everyone, welcome to the Essex Sport Facebook page. My name is Arlene. I'm going to run a 30-minute fitness Pilates session for you today. If you want to just make sure you've got plenty of space to move around freely, it would be nice to have a yoga mat or a Pilates mat, water nearby if you'd like some, and just work at your own pace to feel comfortable. I won't run music during the session, but you're welcome to pop on some of your favorite music in the background just to help create a nice relaxed atmosphere. Okay, great. So we're going to start coming into child's pose. So if you come through all fours on your hands and knees, and when you're ready, you just very slowly start to bring your bottom down to your heels and just slowly start to ease your upper body down. So you can stop here if that's comfortable. Or you can start to make fists if you'd like to bring your forehead down for support. You can do that with 1 or 2 fists, or even rest your forehead on the ground, or use some folded up towels or blankets here. And as you just relax here for a moment, make your body comfortable, and maybe you start to feel in your child's pose that you ease a little bit through your lower back, your hips. Good, and just notice your shoulders if they feel comfortable as they are. You're welcome to place your hands either side of your feet or rest your hands on your lower back. So just wherever that's comfortable for you. And you can even add a little reaching of your hands to the front of your mat or away from you so you can lengthen the sides of your body. Good, so just another round of breath here. Lovely. And then when you're ready, we'll start to come out of our child's pose. So just slowly walk your hands back and lift up to all fours on your hands and knees. So make yourself comfortable in all fours. You're welcome to roll up your mat or fold it up or have some extra cushioning under your hands if you have any wrist issues. Okay, so we're just going to do a little pelvic tilt. So if you keep your spine neutral, so your neck is long with your spine here, and it's almost like you could place a block on the back of your shoulder blades, and it would be long with your neck. We're going to do a real subtle movement with just our hips. So without moving your upper body or your head, just slowly start to soften your belly towards the mat, and then round your spine up. So you can almost engage your navel to round your lower back up towards the ceiling. So it's a really subtle movement, just moving a few centimeters or so. So belly comes towards the mat, and then tilting your lower back upwards. So it's just kind of a tilt of your pelvis downwards, belly to the mat, and then rounding up. Good, and just notice how that feels. Maybe that starts to ease out tension if you do have any tension in your lower back. So it's a really nice movement for relaxing your back, but also just to promote spinal health, to feel kind of movement or range of motion in your lower back. Good, so we'll do 2 more rounds here, just tilting our hips or pelvis. Good. Now, when you come and relax, just find a neutral pelvis, so it doesn't feel like it's arching upwards or your belly's relaxing. It's just kind of nice and long, and as if you could just place a cup of tea on your back here. Okay, so we're going to do a little challenge for our abdominal muscles. So just very slowly start to reach your right fingertips forward, like a train track drawing a straight line from your hands. Good, and then at the same time, your opposite leg, your left toes will reach behind you. So stay here if that's comfortable. You can come back to all fours at any time. If you'd like to challenge your balance further, slowly start to lift arm, leg. You can do one or the other or both. So try to maintain that long spine, and if it feels like your hips kind of lifting up, just try to draw it so you have that level hip space on your back. Good, just hold for another round of breath. Come down at any time if that feels right for you. Good, and then slowly start to lower down back to all fours. You might feel how you've worked that side of your body, and we'll do the other side when you're ready. So left arm reaches forward, right toes behind you. Optional lift of just arm, just leg, or both. Stay there. It's almost like your toes and your fingers are kind of radiating away from your body. You can start to feel how that engages a bit in your abdominal muscles in your stomach. Good. Come out at any time. Another round of breath here, and then slowly start to lower down. Good. So I'll continue doing that, alternating sides. You can do it at your own pace, and just hold for a few moments, a few breaths. But think about neutral spine. So your neck, your hips are level, your spine's long, and a little engagement of your abs to help create stability. Good, and then when you're ready, slowly start to lower down. Another side when you're ready. Good, gentle lift up, hold. Just check in that you have a neutral neck, but also that there's no tension in your neck. So you can adjust how close your chin is to your chest. You're kind of looking down at your thumbs. Good, and then lower down. So we'll do 2 more rounds on each side. So just slowly maintain that level hip space, lifting up, lengthening. Almost you're trying to reach something just out of your range with your fingers or your toes, or trying to touch something. Good, and then lower down. And the other side, left arm, right leg, or just the other side. And again, just notice maybe it starts to feel it a little bit of swaying might arise. Good, and then gently lower down. So 1 more round each side. Good, opposite arm and leg, lifting up, radiating from your center, level hips, softness in the back of your neck. Good, 1 more breath here, lower down. Good, last one, opposite arm, leg, other side, lifting up. Good, 1 more breath here, lovely, and then gently lower down. So we'll come back to the child's pose we practiced at the start. Slowly bring your bottom to your heels, forearms come down. Would you like support for your head with a fist or 2, or maybe resting on the ground? Where are your arms comfortable? Do you like reaching them overhead? Or you can rest them on your lower back. Good, and just stay there for a few breaths. Relax your shoulders, and just feel perhaps as you stay in the position that you might feel an easing of the muscles of your lower back, which you've just worked. Good, we're all 4s, positioned with control, reaching our limbs out. Good. And when you're ready, we'll just slowly place our hands on the floor and curl your spine gently. Good, and then come to lay on your back with your knees bent. Just thinking about that feeling of working your back. We'll come to just lay back comfortably and do some pelvic tilts to start. So if you place your feet about the width of your hips, just wherever you are, just have your knees and your ankles about the same distance apart. And it's quite nice to relax your hands on either side of your hips with your palms facing down. Just feel that your body is symmetrical. There's an alignment, so your shoulders and are equally relaxing into the mat, your hips soften, and the top back of your head relaxes as well. Good. Notice now just your breath. So it's almost like when you inhale, your belly kind of rises up and your lower back lifts away from the floor. So this is similar to what we just did in all 4s facing the ground. And then you start to draw your navel inward and your tailbone tips up. This is a very small movement, tilting your hips, belly lifts, lower back to the mat, and then draw your navel inward, tailbone tips up. And you might start to feel that small articulation of your lower back into the mat. Okay, it's a little kind of rocking of your hips. Okay, we'll do 2 more here, and I can feel ease. It's a nice way to check in with how your lower back feels. If you feel tension at all, you might notice it differently on one side of your spine than the other. Okay, great. So now we're going to move to the bridge pose. So come into this as high as feels comfortable, feet still planted evenly, tilt your hips up, bottom lifts away from the floor. You can really engage your bottom muscles, your glutes. Good, lift up, and then slowly lower down, 1 vertebrae at a time. And when you come towards your lower back, really start to press or relax your lower back into the mat until you have your tailbone reach. Good, so you just kind of start with a tilt of your tailbone up, lift your spine 1 vertebrae at a time, stop wherever it's comfortable. Keep that neutral spine so you're gazing up to the ceiling, and then lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. So this doesn't have to be really high of a lift, just do it as high as feels comfortable. So you might just come to a low bridge and then lower down. Good. If you're comfortable lifting higher and you want to make it slightly more challenging, at the top of your bridge, start to bring your both arms overhead. Lower your arms down before feeling each vertebrae relax. Good. So just do 3 more rounds of that if that's comfortable for you. Rest at any time. Another option as you come to your bridge, bring your arms overhead, lift 1 foot off the floor. Good. Lower down your foot and then relax. Good. And then if you're doing the lift of your legs, switch to the other one. Sometimes it's quite nice for stability, but it depends on your spine to lower your arms before relaxing your spine down. Okay, so one more round at your own pace. And if you've done the legs right and left, and this is your last one, you can lift them each in turn just to make it even before lowering down. Okay, great. So once you finish, we'll bring our knees to our chest, hold your shins and stay here. You might bring your forehead up to your knees. Just give your lower back and your hips, as well as your bottom, a chance to just kind of ease out any tension here. You can even bring a little rocking to this if that feels more comfortable. Kind of drawing circles on the ceiling with your knees and reversing. Great. Okay, so next we're going to lay on our back comfortably. And you might relax your hands by your hips if that's more comfortable for you. But another option for stability is to bend your elbows and rest the back of your hands, the back of your head on your fingertips. Good, so you can keep your knees bent, and then just very slowly butterfly your knees open so the bottoms of your feet are touching. Good, so just make this comfortable so you can lift your heels higher if that feels uncomfortable at all, and make little adjustments to how close your thighs are towards your stomach if you feel discomfort in your lower back. So just play with that for a moment so there's no pressure on your lower back. So where is this a comfortable position for your legs so that your lower back has the maximum comfort level. Okay, so from here, start to point your toes. Your toes are turned inward, your knees are opened out to the side, and then slowly start to open your legs out into a straddle position. And then bend just your knees so your toes can come back towards each other. Okay, so just do that again at your own time, very slowly with control. Lengthen your legs, reach your toes away from you, bending your knees, slowly magnetizing your toes towards each other. Good, so do 3 more rounds here, reaching out, lowering down with control. If you want to make that harder, you can bring your legs closer towards your body. Good. You can feel how that kind of increases. If you want to make it more of an abdominal engagement, you can bring your feet closer towards the floor as you do that. Okay, so we'll do 3 more, reaching toes out, bending your knees. Again, make it your own. Do you want that ab engagement by lowering your legs so they're almost hovering towards the floor? Adjust it to feel right for your body. Good. Lovely. 2 more. Reaching out, lowering down, just playing with the numbers there to maximize the amounts that we do. Good. And 1 more. Lovely. Great. So bring your knees back towards each other. Draw your thighs towards your stomach, and you can hold your shins and bring your forehead up towards your knees. You're welcome to bring a little movement here. You can even rock forwards and backwards if that feels nice with your spine today. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll come to sit up. You can roll on one side if that's more comfortable. And we're going to do a little variation of a V-sit. So just keep your legs in front of you with your knees bent. Have your feet about the width of your hips. Good, so you can notice that long spine this creates, shoulders over your hips. And then very slowly engage through your navel. So you can bring your chin a little bit to your chest to this and lean back. So that can be a little bit of a lean back. Come to where it feels comfortable so your feet don't lift off the floor. Okay, so just find that space, kind of a V-sit back. Again, you can lean more forward at any time that it feels right for you. So long spine and neck. Bring your arms so they're just below shoulder height, and almost like your fingertips are across from your breastbones. Your arms are kind of rounded like you're hugging a tree or a ball. Okay, so lovely. So from here, maintain that abdominal engagement. Bring one arm up overhead, lower down to that starting point. Other arm lifts overhead, lower down. Good, hips stay facing forward. Rotate from your waist to one side. Slowly back to center, then the other side. And back to center. Good, so there's 1 whole round. So 1 arm overhead, lower down to the starting point. Other arm lifts, lower down. Rotate to one side. You can feel that along your rib cage, your muscles. Other side, back to center. Good, and repeat. 1 arm overhead, slowly lower down. Other arm overhead, lower down. Rotate to one side, back to center at your own pace. Other side, rotation, back to center. Good. Single arm overhead, return. Other arm overhead, and return. Rotate from your waist to one side, back to center, other side, back to center. Good. So 2 more rounds. One arm overhead, lower down. Other arm, good, lowering down. Rotate from your waist, one direction, back to center, other direction, back to center. Good, reach your fingers forward, draw your arms up. Good, and then we'll bring our hands behind you, turn your fingertips out to the side, and just start to lift your breastbone up. You can either keep your knees bent or you might straighten your legs and start to lean back a little. If you want to come into this deeper, turn your fingertips towards your hips. Start to bend your elbows so your forearms on the ground and your elbows are underneath your shoulders, and you can start to lift your breastbone up just to help relax our abdominal muscles. So just stay for as long as it's comfortable behind your neck without having tension there. Good, and then when you're ready, slowly bring your chin to your chest. And then we'll slightly walk back up and come to all fours on your hands and knees. Good, so from all fours, we're going to do variations of a forearm plank. So bring your forearms down onto the mat, your elbows approximately underneath your shoulders. And so your forearms are parallel on the ground, okay? So option 1, you can start to just lengthen your knees behind you until you feel like there's a long spine, keeping your shins in contact with the ground. Option 2, tuck your toes under. You can do this one at a time and lift your knees away from the floor. So just notice if your bottom's up, creating kind of a V, and can you relax that so it's a nice long spine, your navel's engaged, and also avoid having a rounding of your lower back. Good. That's so your belly's towards the floor. Just made it a neutral spine. Good, lovely. So stay here if that's comfortable. If this is uncomfortable, you can do a variation coming to all fours, but with longer arms. Okay, so we're going to stay for a few breaths, come out at any time. If you want to make this a little bit more challenging, from your plank pose, you can start to lift one leg, point your toe, open it out to the side, back to center, lower down. Same on the other leg. Good. And if you want to do that from all fours with long arms, one leg lifts straight behind your shoulder, point your toe, open it out to the side, back to center, bend your knee to lower down. Good. Another leg. Good. So again, in your plank, you can come out of it any time, adjust when it feels right for you. Good. If you want that extra challenge in plank, straight leg lifts up, opens out to the side, back to center, lowering down. Or you can do that from all fours, as I'm doing right now. Good, so just explore another round. Come again, out at any time. You might start to really feel that. Sometimes the little shakes arise. Good. Okay, so last one. And then slowly, if you're in plank, bring your knees down. We'll come back to that child's pose, bottom to your heels. If you stayed in plank, it might be nice to have your arms overhead before resting your forehead down. Then you can use a fist, a cushion, rolled up blanket or towel. If you have held the plank, it might be nice to reach your fingers to the front of the mat. And you can do that in a slight V or diagonal if that feels more comfortable for your shoulders. Good. So 2 more breaths here. Lovely. Just relax through your lower back. And then we'll slowly start to uncurl. Good. Come up through all fours. And then we're going to lay on our side. Good. So when you lay on your side, just bring your arm next to your ear, your palms facing down here. And it's nice to have your hips stacked one on top of the other so the shoulders are stacked as well. Good, ankles stacked. If that feels unstable with your legs straight from your hip space, you can bring your straight legs a bit more forward. Okay, so just come into that as much as feels comfortable for you. Good, so keep your legs as they are and slowly just lift your upper leg, the one the closest to the ceiling, straight up and then gently lower down. Good, so do that once more, lift your leg up. So that's our neutral point. And then slowly bring your leg in front of the ankle of the leg on the ground. Good, so back up to that center point and then leg behind your ankle. Good, so just do a few more rounds, lifting up and then draw your legs slowly together with control in front of your ankle, up and then behind your ankle. Good, so you can feel very subtle rotations or movements in your hip space. So one in front as you bring your legs together and then close behind as you bring your legs together. Good, so 2 more rounds, lifting up straight to that center point, closing in front, lifting up, closing behind. 1 more round. Really good. Lifting up, legs together, and last one, lifting up, leg behind. Okay, great. So bring your legs back to that neutral point. Again, you can adjust to bring your legs, straight legs further forward for stability. Good, so start to bend your upper leg's knee. So your knee starts to lift up towards the ceiling there. Okay, so your knees out to the side, you can feel that through a rotation in your hip sockets. socket. Then start to lengthen your legs. So lift your knee as high as feels comfortable. Lengthen your legs straight, pointing your toes. Keep your legs straight, but draw your straight legs towards each other slowly with control. Good, so the upper leg's rotated still. Bend your knee. Good, at the maximum, straighten your leg, and then slowly draw your legs towards each other again. Good, so 3 more rounds on this leg. Knee bends, leg straightens, lower down with control. You can start to feel that a bit in your abdominal muscles. Again, knee bends, leg straightens, slowly draw straight legs towards each other. Good, 1 more round here. Knee bends, straighten your leg, reaching your toes away from you, draw your thighs towards each other. Good, really nice. Okay, so the leg you're working, bend your knee and your knees up towards the ceiling, and then very slowly start to rotate from your hip space, from your thigh, to bring your knee forward. Good, so lifting up again your knee towards the ceiling, and then rotating from your thigh to bring your knee forward. Good, do that again. Knee up to the ceiling, rotating, knee comes forward. Good, and again, lifting up and drawing your knee forward. Good, really good. Okay, so we're good to roll onto our back. Bring your thighs towards your stomach. As an option, you can bring your forehead towards your knees. You might bring a little rocking forwards and backwards if that feels nice. Good, just see what feels nice for you. And then we'll do the other side. Good, so you can roll onto the side or just rock up from here. Push yourself up. Do the other side. Arm extends long. Stacking shoulders, stacking hips, stacking ankles. Option to bring your straight legs further forward in front of you, just resting your ear on your arm extended, palm facing down. Good, lovely. So just starting with those leg lifts. So lift your legs straight up and then just gently lower down. Good, think of that as your neutral height in the center. Good, this time straight leg comes in front of your ankle, of the leg on the ground, then straight up and then behind the ankle of your leg on the ground. Good, so up, in front. As you close, draw your legs together. Think about drawing them together towards near your thighs, then behind. Good, so down to lift up and stopping or drawing your legs together in front of your ankle, lifting up, closing your legs together behind your ankle. And again, 1 more round, lifting up, closing in front of your ankle, lifting up and closing behind. Great. Okay, so bring your legs neutral, one's on top of the other. Start to the upper leg, bend your knee, your knees up towards the ceiling, so you can accomplish that by rotating for your thigh. Good, find that, and then start to lengthen your toe away from you. So we're doing that from kind of a turned out position, and very slowly, like you're moving through water, draw your legs towards each other, straight legs. Knee bends up towards the ceiling or away from your body. Straighten your legs, very slowly with control. Draw your thighs, your straight legs towards each other. 2 more. Knee bends, gentle lengthening. Slowly draw your thighs towards each other. Good. 1 more. Knee bends. Straight leg, toes reaching away from you. Thighs slowly drawing towards each other. Good, really good. So we'll start with our knee bent, knee up towards the ceiling, toes just brushing your knee, then rotate from your thigh to bring your bent knee forward in front of you. Good. Then up towards the ceiling and lowering down. You can really feel that on the outside edge of your hip for the leg that's working. Good, so knee up and then slowly rotate, knee forward. Good, twice more. Knee up to the ceiling, rotating from your hip space, bringing your leg forward once more. Good, really good. Up towards the ceiling and then lowering down. Good, lovely. So we'll roll onto our back again. Bring your knees to your chest. Hold your shins. You can bring your forehead up towards your knees if that's comfortable. Good. Then either roll to one side or just gently rock up from here. We'll come back to all fours on hands and knees. Good. And from here, just start to lay on your belly so you can bend your elbows, lay face down, but keep your hands either side of your face with your elbows bent and your forearms are just resting comfortably. So just make your hips comfortable. You can adjust so your knees are towards the floor, your legs are up with your hips. Good, we're ready to lift up to kind of a sphinx pose. So as you inhale, lengthen the top of your head forward, keep your spine long. Slowly lift your chest away from the ground. And then gently exhale and massage your chest back down. So just lift as high as feels comfortable. It doesn't have to be too high, but just explore the range that feels comfortable. So you can lift without having pressing your hands onto the floor. Inhaling up, exhale, massage your chest in. Good, so 1 more round. lifting up. Good, and lowering down. Good, so the next one we're going to add another round. As you inhale and lift up, just hold for a few moments or a few breaths. Just come down at any time. If you're comfortable, you can hover your hands off the floor. If you want a bit more from there, you can reach your arms overhead and then start to turn your arms, your palms away from you towards your feet and swing your arms down. Good, so rotate, palms turn upwards towards your head and then palms turn back. Again, come out of this at any time. We'll do 2 more rounds with our arms kind of swimming up and then rotating through your shoulders to turn your palms away from you. Good. Once more. Lovely. And we'll come back through our Sphinx pose, forms on the ground. Exhale, gently relax. Bend your elbows, hands either side of your chest, up through all fours, back to that child's pose. At your own pace, very slowly, bottom to your heels. Gently bring up your body down and you can rest your forehead on support on the ground. Where would your arms like to be? Reaching overhead or relaxing either side of your feet behind your shoulders. And just take that moment of stillness or 2 to relax your lower back, relax your bottom, relax your hips, relax your jaw and your face, ease your breath long in your body. Good. And then when you're ready, just very slowly start to uncurl, back up through all fours. Step your right foot forward between your hands, or 1 foot forward between your hands. Stay there. If you want more, you can tuck your toes under and just start to lift your back legs, knee off the floor. So for me, that's my left. Good, just check in with how that feels, little hamstring stretch. If you want more, you can start to lengthen the top of your head upwards. We're going to add a little rotation here. So you can stay here on the ball of your foot. You might bring your knee down if that feels a bit intense. Good, and then start to open. So if your right knee is bent and your right foot's forward, open your right arm out to the side and just very slowly start to rotate. Stop wherever that's comfortable. You can start to gaze upwards. You can even start to roll the weight a little bit towards the outside edge of your toe so your big toe lifts off the floor, just to kind of explore different ranges for your ankle. Good, for its range of motion. Lovely. And then when you're ready, slowly lower it down. Good, bring your knee towards the floor. Keep your right leg, or the leg that's in front, extended, but just shorten your stance a little bit so your knee's kind of underneath your hip space here, approximately. Then lift your chest up. So you can place your hands on your leg if that's more comfortable. Straighten your leg. Keep your hips level, like they're both equally facing forward, and then slowly start to hinge. So you're bringing your upper body folding forward from your hip space. Just up wherever that's comfortable. You can rest your hands on your leg. You might bring your hands to the floor. If you want to vary that, if you do come comfortably to the floor, you can kind of change the leg, the muscles that you're activating a little bit by lifting your toes off the floor, so you're flexing your foot. Good. Another breath here. Just feel where that's starting to ease the back of your leg. Good. And your hips are kind of just reaching behind you a little bit. Good. One more breath here. Lovely. And gently bend your knee. We'll come back through all fours. Good. And then the other leg. So for me, my left leg steps forward. Come through that runner's lunge, tuck your toes. You can start to lift your right knee off the floor as an option, but you might stay there. You can vary how close your knee is forward. If that feels intense, bring it more forward, or you can lengthen. So wherever that's comfortable for you, stay. Good, so the leg that's in forward, same arm, reaches out to the side, little rotation here. Stop wherever that's comfortable. Again, you might reach your arm up towards the ceiling. You can look up at your fingers. You can even start to roll the weight to the outside edge of your foot and bring it back. Just do that at the range that feels comfortable for you, so there's no discomfort or tension arising. Good, and then we'll rotate back, hand to the floor, bring your knee down, shift your back leg's knee forward, so it's about underneath your hip. Lift up, straighten your front leg. Good, when your body's straight, so it's like your hips are even, start to bring upper body forward. Just come at your own pace, your own range. Just feel that ease. The back of your leg, perhaps your lower back option. If you want to come into that slightly differently, lift your toes off the floor, your heels kind of flexing away from you. Good. So one more breath here. Really good. And we'll gently bend our knee and then come to sit on your bottom with your knees bent and just butterfly your knees open so the bottoms of your feet touch. And you can hold onto your ankles to start to lengthen the top of your head up, so you just feel your shoulders over your hips, that nice long spine. Good. And we're going to fold forward, so maybe stay here if that's comfortable. If you want to hinge from your hips and bring your breast one forward, and just stay there for a moment. Let your legs feel heavy. You're welcome to roll up towels or place some cushions underneath your knees if they'd like that support there. And you can just start to ease forward. See if you like holding your feet, or you might walk your hands forward in this direction with your arms reaching away from your body. Good, another breath there. Lovely. And then when you're ready, very slowly start to uncurl your spine. Bring your knees back towards each other. You can just start to windshield wiper your knees side to side, relaxing your hands behind you. Great. So thank you for practicing fitness Pilates for me today. Feel free to look at the other videos we have on Facebook or on Essex Sport YouTube page. You can send over any messages on Facebook Messenger if you have any. Great. Thank you for practicing with me today. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.